Okay, so today we're going to do a review and a demonstration of this Rexing DashCam V1. Full HD, 1080p, 30 frames per second. These are the things that it offers here right on the side of the box. 2.4-inch LCD screen and so on. We're going to talk about all these functions. I'm going to show you how it works. This is what comes in the box. You get the camera unit, you get the power adapter that plugs into your cigarette lighter there. You can also connect it with a USB, which is also included. They give you a tool, so if you ever need to remove those adhesives, you can get that off of your windshield if you place it wrong. You get two of these attachment pieces with the 3M adhesive here, so you can put one in two different cars and then just pull the unit out and install it in whichever car you happen to be driving. These things are a lot of fun, and it collects data, and it's more valuable than you might think. Also, when you're going to route the cables that run from it, they have these little sticky clips here. You can run two cables together through that, so if you have a GPS and this unit, you can run those along. You don't have to tuck it into your molding of the car and get into all that mess there. You can just have it follow the dash. This is again the power adapter that goes with it. The USB part, not the USB, the power part plugs into the side of it, and the other part goes into your cigarette lighter. That little top twist there also opens up a USB connection. This is the USB cable also included. Easy, simple. Also, I'm showing this wipe. I use these for my cameras, but you're going to want to clean off your windshield on the inside with some kind of alcohol or something that evaporates quick so that you can connect that clean. Now here on the left side, we're showing that's the USB port there, not USB, the micro SD card, power switch, reset switch, and then the menu button there to the right. And I'm using a SanDisk Ultra micro card, and it's 64 gigabytes. That's going to give me 11 hours of recording time, and that's more than enough for the driving that I do. You can put a larger card in it, but 64 gigs gives you 11 hours and it's on a loop. Also, when you get it, notice the camera has this little clear piece of plastic on it. Go ahead and pull that off, and then it's a nice clear camera. In fact, this camera reminds me a little bit of the cameras that are on the GoPros and things like that. This is the screen. This thing is 2.5 inches wide. That's the back that slides onto your connector piece. It's on the windshield. And over here you see we have 3 different plug-ins. You can also have another camera there. That's what the hole is all the way to the left, and that will show to the rear of your car, so you can have people being monitored as they come up behind you. Screen is pretty nice. You have the option to turn it off. That's that little button all the way to the right there that has a screen with a hash mark through it. Now the camera's on, and of course it's videoing my palm. But we're also going to show you road views from it. Everything looks pretty good. The date is off, so don't pay attention to that. But this is what you see on the screen, and if it's on, of course. Now this thing is running off its battery right now. It does not have a long battery life if it's not plugged into your vehicle. And if your vehicle is not running, this thing will turn itself off, and you decide what the interval is too when it's going to turn off. So it's fully programmable on your part. The other thing is, this is the maximum legal size unit for my state. So this is how you adjust the camera. It only has tilt adjustment. It'd be nice maybe if they had the adjustment where you could twist it left or right, but right now it's just up or down. And it worked out really well for the car that we put this in for this demonstration. And of course that screen stays on. Depending on your state, you may not be allowed to have that monitor screen on your windshield, so you might have to turn it off. And again, that is the pigtail connector on the left there, so you can run a camera to the rear, not included. GPS, you can connect that also. The same company provides a GPS if you want to order that extra, and then the power cable, which you must have. So also I recommend that you have one of these splitters. I only have one cigarette lighter plug-in my dash, so I got this extra unit, Best Tech it's called, and these are top rated gear. I paid full price for these on Amazon. I'm going to put links in the video description so you can follow up on them and look at them yourself, but these things have thousands of 4.5 and 5-star reviews. So again, and this Best Tech unit has a LED readout on the top, and that shows me what my battery voltage is. Kind of fun to know. It read about 14.5 for voltage throughout this test. It also has an on-off switch on the back. Cable's nice and heavy, and there is an inline breaker there. So the voltage is 7-way socket adapter. Input voltage 12 volt to 24 volts, 10 amp max. There's a 10 amp fuse built in. Output voltage also 12 to 24, that's collectively. This is the plug-in cable, nice and thick, well made, holds its place, and then there's that 10 amp fuse. They also include an extra fuse just in case that blows. You don't want to be without power. So all the way to the left is where you would plug in your regular cigarette lighter if you still use those. I don't. And of course the two openings on the right there are for your Rexing unit or any other thing that you need to get power from while you're underway with your car. This is a close-up of the units. Top left there, you see the video camera. That means we're doing videos. This has the option to do stills. That flashing red dot means that it is recording. It automatically goes into record mode as soon as you plug it in and your car turns on. Wide dynamic range. Notice the 3 there on the left with the video camera and the loop around it. That means it's shooting in 3-minute segments. It continually videos, but it saves the files in 3-minute segments so you can find them later. The little plus and minus sign is exposure readings. It had the card in it, and then there was an indicator to show that the battery is full. Now here we are heading out from my yard. This is Thanksgiving Day. Of course, we're covered in snow here, and we're going to leave our area and go down lower, and we're going to family for Thanksgiving, and I thought it would be a great time to test this out. But pretty cool video really for a dash cam. Now we're popping in to pick up my daughter, and this is the audio recording I want you to listen to.
Thanksgiving.
Thanks getting all they want.
Thanksgiving it.
Thanks doing it. And then when you turn it off, it records for 30 seconds.
Good.
After you shut down.
Are you going to go and see if you can help her?
Wow, it includes her front door. See if I can help her.
Yeah.
Why she needs
Or
help.
get Quinn.
I can get the Quinn if
All right.
Now that previous audio segment that you just listened to is the unit recording inside the car. You do have to let people know if you're going to record them in the car. I told my wife later on, hey, I'm going to use that recording anyway. She said okay, so I had her permission. The other thing is when you're going down the highway, if you want to use your video footage from a dash cam, here's a car getting pulled over by the state patrol, and we didn't mind because that particular car rushed up on our rear end and blew past us just a few miles before that, so it was kind of cool to see them get nailed. Anyway, this is pretty harsh light, by the way. The sun is coming at the camera. Now we're in twilight to show that sample. If you're going to use your video sequences to protect yourself for an insurance claim, or if you're going to give this to the police or you want to use it in court, in my state, that audio has to be on the whole time. So if you delete the audio or disconnect audio from video in post-production, you will not be able to use this footage in some states. The other thing is where you place your camera. There are laws governing where your camera can be. So in my state of Pennsylvania, you have to have this dash cam actually up top center on your windshield, or all the way to the lower left, or all the way to the lower right, and it cannot occupy more than 5 square inches of space. Since this unit is 2.5 inches, that is the largest that I can have on my windshield. And I place this right behind the rear view mirror, so it's actually not really visible for me. I can see the bottom controls and I can see that it's on or off. And remember, if the display is not legal, you can turn that display off and the unit still records. So as long as your car is running, it's recording. When you shut off your car, it continues to record for 30 seconds, but you also have control over how long it's going to record when your vehicle's off. Plus, you can have like a scan unit where it takes a shot at intervals and you can scan a parking lot, for example, for security. Now here, this is the darkest and probably most challenging. I was pretty impressed that it's not pixelated, it's not grainy or noisy. Now one thing you'll notice, you can't read the license plates on cars. So since this thing is recording, if there's a car you're trying to get information about, talk out loud and just let it record your voice. Describe the license plate. You get a teenager that's learning to drive, put one of these in their car and let them know that everything they're doing is being recorded, and you're going to see improved driving practices on the part of those teenagers. So this is great. Some insurance companies offer you a discount if you have a dash cam because they've learned that people that have dash cams are generally going to drive more responsibly. The other thing is you have the confidence that if anything happens and somebody claims that your driving was erratic or you did something to cause an accident, you're going to have video footage right here. The other thing is you can have a camera facing to the bag. So if somebody's riding your rear end or something, you're going to be able to document that, especially when there's snow and ice and somebody might slide up and hit you. You want to get that information. And again, remember, say out loud as much information about the vehicle as you can. If it's a hit and run type thing, say the license plate number, describe the vehicle, and how many people are in it. That will help you later, and the audio is constantly being recorded. Thanks for watching. I hope this review was helpful.